Hey guys, Francis here, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of work to open up your low back. There are a couple of exercises in Pilates that can be tough to do if you have tightness in your low back. Now, I'm not talking about, herniated discs or anything big like that. If you just have general tightness, right? If you have any other more serious issues, then this is not for you. But if you just have a little bit of tightness in your low back, which I often see a lot of time in a lot of my students, as time goes on, as we get into our, maybe 50s and 60s, it doesn't even have to be that age range, but tightness shows up in the low back oftentimes. So we're going to just start with a block as our prop. We'll start with our hands behind our hamstrings and squeeze a block between the thighs. Sit up tall first. Pull the belly in. Imagine that you're tilting your pelvis. So if your pelvis were a bowl, you're going to spill water out of the back of the pelvic bowl. So tucking the tail and rounding out the back like that. And then lift up to sit up tall. And again, belly pulls in, tuck the tail, round it out. And sit up tall. Belly pulls in. Really visualize the low belly pulling out in a lot here. So the more we pull in from the front, the more we're going to allow that opening from the back. And one more time. Here we go. Belly pulls in as we round, round, round. And then we work to lift, lift, lift. Okay, good. Now we're going to go a little step further. Pull the belly in, round out. You're going to go ahead and bring your feet a little closer toward your seat and lengthen your arms all the way long. Let your belly pull in and soften toward the floor. Let your back release toward the floor. So we're actually using gravity here. We're kind of setting ourselves up. This one is inspired by an exercise on the Pilates Cadillac. We're actually holding on to a bar that is connected with springs up higher, and you slowly roll down. So we're just putting our back into the same position, and you're just going to hold here and allow the back to release toward the floor like a hammock, right, with gravity. Now from here, we'll dive the top of our head toward our knees. So pull the belly in first. Keep the C shape of your spine and dive the top of your head toward your knees. Then work sequentially to lift the back. Let's do that a couple more times. Belly pulls in, round out, release. Give it a moment, release, release, release. Belly pulls in before you dive the top of your head toward your knees. Work the lift of the spine, and let's do it again. Belly pulls in, tuck the tail, round, hang out, release, release, release. Dive your head towards your knees. Work the lift of your back, and let's do it again. Here we go. Belly pulls in, round out. Big breath in. Exhale. Release. Dive your head toward your knees, and then roll back up. The next one I want to do with a strap. I have a strap handy. You can use a strap, or you can use a belt or a tie. You're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We'll loop our hands around the strap here. Pull the belly in, and again, round out. So we have a little bit more length with the legs, so there's a little more grounding in the lower body to keep you in place. And we have a little longer lever here, so we're going to maybe be able to go down a little further. Big breath in, big breath out, big breath in again, and big breath out. Now from here, we're going to again dive the top of our head toward our knees, and then slowly roll up. Tuck the tail to round back. Inhale, exhale. Let's dive it. Roll it up, and then belly pulls in to come back down. Nice release. Belly pulls in, dive the top of your head down. Slowly roll up. Okay, so from here, we got a little bit of opening in that way. The next thing we're going to do is prep for open leg rocker, and then we'll do a few different variations on the rolling exercises. We'll start with the block. You take your block between your ankles, and you're going to pull the belly in, tuck the tail. Do your best to come down just a little bit. So if you could just get like that triangular bone at the base of your spine to come down to the floor, then the rest of your back be up, so you're not flat on your back. That's kind of our goal. So pull the belly in, tuck the tail, and slow and with control, get just that little bit of your low back down. Now, if you have tightness, you might end up just kind of clunking all the way down. Don't worry about that. You just go slow on the way down, okay? So ideally, pulling in, come down just that little bit, and then come back up. And again, pulling in, come down just that little bit, and come back up. 2 more like that. Belly pulls in, and come back up. If you have trouble with this one, you can come up with a little bit more momentum, again, if it feels comfortable. And then we come back up. So we take the block away now, and we do 3 different variations. The first 2 is on an easier balance point. So the space between your sitting bones, I like to kind of do this shape like here, like a triangle shape, space between your sitting bones and your tailbone. So it makes kind of like a triangle shape that is your plateau. That's like an easy balance. You'll keep your shape, and we'll roll back and come up onto that easy balance, okay? The second one, we'll do legs long on that same easy balance. And the third one, we'll tuck the tail and find a smaller balance point. So if you tuck the tail, you're coming into that C curve with the spine again, and you're on a smaller balance point. Finding a good focal point directly away from you is very helpful on this one, okay? So let's go ahead and do these 3 exercises, okay? So try to keep your shape. Don't let your thighs come in close to your torso. Tuck the tail, roll it back, and come up. And it's pretty slow. Again, roll back, and come up, slow and controlled. Roll it back, and come up. One more time, roll it back, come up, and now we lengthen the legs. If your hamstrings are tight, you don't have to hold on to your ankles. You can hold on lower and just effort to lengthen the legs. Still the easy balance point. And here we go. Roll it back, and come up. Again, roll it back, and come up. 2 more, roll it back. So notice how you're mobilizing your spine each time. Belly pulling in helps as well. Now let's go ahead and from here, stay with the legs long, tuck your tail, and come onto a smaller balance point. Here we go. Ready? Roll it back. Small balance point. Should be harder. Again, roll it back. Small balance point. Roll it back. Small balance point. 1 more, roll it back. Small balance point. Stay here. Bring your feet together. Bring your hands towards your feet and hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Let's do feet together, knees apart, hands to ankles. Work to lift the low back, and then bring your belly button forward. Let your elbows come in front of your shin bones. Let your head come down. Let's breathe here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Let the weight of your head release toward the floor. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. And 1 more big breath in. And big breath out. Do a few more stretches like this. I'll turn to face you. We're going to go ahead and bring the legs forward. Hold on to one shin bone. Lift the low back. Knee out to the side. Think of the pelvis tilting, spilling water out of the front of the pelvic bowl. So initiating from the hip socket, and then let the body release down. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let's gently come up, and we'll do the same thing on the second side. So we'll just do a couple of these. So hold on, lift, and then tilt and release. You can let your hands go wherever is comfortable. I'm kind of crossing mine and putting on my shin bones. If you're flexible on this, you would take a block and bring your fingertips, right? But if you have a tight back, you might have just one side that's tighter than the other. So you want to kind of balance that out. You can just, again, have your hands be wherever is comfortable, but let the weight of the head release. And then let's gently come back up. Okay, so that's a couple of moves that you can use to help you open up your low back. If you have tightness there, again, give it time, let it open up, and I hope this is helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next video. If this is helpful and you want to subscribe, then go ahead and push the button below, and then you'll be sure to get the next one as it comes in, and hopefully it will help you open your back up and move freer and easier. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye.